Good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to this session today on the purple mindset. With deep gratitude to each one of you for taking out time to join, I would just like to share that this session today has been planned as in a normal CA speakers forum. We couldn't do any session today being coinciding with ICA Dubai chapter event in the morning. And I thought that let's go into something different, which specifically targets or target on how CFOs can be different, but can at the same time also help all finance leaders or even other professionals to think differently and to stand out as a leader. This is not the first time I'm speaking on this topic. Earlier in one of the conference, I have shared this, but this is the first time that I'm going live on YouTube myself with this topic. And with the results, as I have been able to prepare and this presentation has come out, I'm confident that it will bring in a value for all of you for a few minutes you will be spending on this session today with me. And allow me to share my screen. Just a moment. So my screen is up here. Uh, my presentation is up here on the screen. And as you know, that the title is The Purple Mindset, and it is an attempt for all of us to think differently and stand out as a leader. Though, as I said, that this is targeted towards CFOs, but it isn't about finance or numbers. It's about thinking differently to stand out as a leader. And in this presentation, we will explore how bold ideas can reshape financial leadership and set remarkable CFOs apart. And the inspiration comes from Saint Gaudin, who says that in a crowded marketplace, fitting in isn't failing. Fitting in is failing. My agenda today for this presentation is I have divided my presentation into 6 parts, and it starts from the changing role of a CFO, how you can lead with influence, what is purple mindset. There are a couple of case studies in this session, and what can be those framework, what can be the framework and the tools that can help you plan for from 30 days to 90 days, and what it concludes with what would be your next move, how you can turn bold initiatives into consistent action, which will conclude with a small discussion and any questions if you may have. Now, first thing we need to remember that many times we focus on being different. But here the question is not how different you are, the question is also how remarkable you are. And until and unless you are remarkable, it will be difficult for you to stand out. And when we go into the title of my speech, Purple Mindset, it has been used like a metaphor for something which is truly remarkable, which is unique, which is bold, and which is memorable. In normal marketing, we have 4 P's, where there is a product, there's a price, there's a place, and there's a promotion. And this purple has been taken from that concept of by one author, wherein purple comes in as fifth P of marketing. And I have used that concept to open our minds of all our finance leaders. So, in today's market, only the extraordinary, in today's cluttered market, only the extraordinary gets attention. On the screen, you see two examples. One example from our region, from Saudi Arabia, the world's largest IPO. It's an example of how remarkable the things can be, how the things can turn around. And second, it comes for a woman finance leader, Ruth Porant, from Alphabet, wherein we know that technological companies go through different challenges, wherein they need to continuously drive capital into the companies and create great returns for the investors, where and she had shown us the courage and the way that where if you are on the right path, you are transparent, you will be able to drive capital in, and you will be also able to perform and give the investors the returns which they expect. Sorry, just a moment. My presentation is stuck. Let me share again. Yeah. So I go back. Yeah. So we are done with this. Now we move to the first section, which is the changing role of a CFO. We talk about very often that the roles of CFOs are continuously changing. We talk about the CFOs have become a strategist. So here we will exactly see how a CFO can move from being a steward to a strategist in his or her organization. If we look at the numbers, 70% of the CFOs have now own responsibilities beyond finance. It can be either strategy, it can be ESG, or it can be a digital transformation. This is as per the study done by Gartner in 2025, and 70% is a good number, which actually validates what we normally say, that CFOs role is changing and CFOs have now moved beyond their normal day-to-day functioning when we look into from the finance point of view. Now, we had already looked at 70% of CFOs now on responsibilities over their normal finance field, and 77% of finance leaders are now deeply involved in enterprise-wide strategic decisions. As we move on in the presentation, we will see certain more examples on how CFOs have really played a significant role when it comes to strategic decisions, and how they have actually validated that fact, that wherein they were the most strongest person standing with the CEO in an organization and turning our organizations into a different thing, being that significantly successful for themselves and also for the organization. Then 58% are investing in new technologies. And where significantly people get involved in active transformation initiatives, which they do while being in their finance role. The key takeaway is the mandate has already changed. The only question which you need to ask yourself is whether your mindset has kept pace. If not, it's time to ponder, it's time to think, and it's time to make that difference and impact for yourself and for your organization. Normally, anything we take, it is said that being safe is risky. Because when you are playing safe, you may not be doing what you should eventually do. You are following that riskiest strategy that may have a negative impact. And when we talk about finance, modern finance leaders, this is not an approach to be taken. Normally, what a finance leaders will do, the finance leader may normally deliver a predictable results, right? We we record, we report, and we deliver to the board. That's very normal, and it rarely drives transformation. A CFO is looked upon as having that courage where there is an innovation, and that innovation and courage will beating the normal compliance driven comfort zones. We talk about thinking out of the box, coming out of your comfort zone, and here the current scenario makes it extremely important for a CFO to come out of that comfort zone. And when a CFO displays bold leadership, that becomes memorable. And when you may be playing safe, that may keep you invisible in the organization. And if you are invisible, if you are not seen, then it's really a serious matter, which may need your introspection. So lead with purpose, be bold in decisions, narratives, and reforms that redefine finance. This is an action point which comes out of this slide. Now we move on to our second section, leading with influence. We talk about influence very significantly, that how influencing that individual has been, how much influence that individual has, how much you can influence your leadership and the strategic decisions, and that influence is the new authority. And here we are talking about a death of a traditional influence model. We need to change the definition of influence, because it is said that old playbooks of finance led influence will no longer apply. The old formula, as we have spoken, deliver reports, give board updates, wait for decisions, that is outdated today. The stakeholders no longer respond to passive compliance. What you need to do? You need to embed influence in every touch point, from budgeting to strategy and ESG. Here, I would like to spend some time on the example which I have given, Amy Hood of Microsoft. In the normal world, we talk about the transformation of Microsoft. And I think everyone today here on the screen is Indian. And we Indians really feel proud of Satya Nadella, who has transformed Microsoft. So Bill Gates founded Microsoft, Satya Nadella transformed. And when we talk about the top companies, I do not know where Microsoft stands today. But when we talk about top 5 companies or top 5 technology companies, then a Microsoft name comes, and we know how the Microsoft has transformed. We know that Satya Nadella brought in a policy where he said that from know it all, we need to go to learn it all. And we see that how Microsoft has transformed by spending on OpenAI, investing in OpenAI, by turning this normal CDs of MS Office into a cloud based subscription by having an acquisitions that made a significant difference to Microsoft. And that Satya didn't do alone. The person who is spoken, that the person who did that with Satya is Amy Hood, who is also the current CFO for over a decade. She has been a CFO for Microsoft, and she worked hand on hand with Satya very closely and turned Microsoft. You can go more and read about into this example. And if we speak about what is the purple lesson, embedding vision into every decision turns finance into the engine of transformation, the transformation that Microsoft witnessed, we all can do for our organization. Now, this slide, leading with influence and the influence virus, also comes from that marketing view, where how we can turn, let's say in the normal circumstance, how we can have create so much influence from a product that it becomes a virus, for our good, not a virus which is harmful for us, but a virus of that product which makes that product very successful. And how it can be done? There are certain things what matters, and you see on the screen 4 boxes. Ease of spread. How simply can you explain and share your financial vision? We are talking in terms of finance here now. So in normal terms, we spoke about how an idea of something new organization or a product could be. But when you look in terms of finance, how simply can you explain and share your financial vision? Number 2, virality. How often do others, board teams or regulators, repeat or advocate your insights? Number 3, group dynamics. Are decision makers connected and aligned with you? Do they have trust in you? Number 4, reputation. Who speaks on your behalf? How credible and respected are you as a finance leader in your organization? And how does the purple mindset stand? Being a remarkable CFO isn't about scale. It's about strategic influence that others can't stop talking about. How do you see yourself in an organization? Do you have such kind of an influence? And if we don't have, how we can work on it to bring that trust, to see that what we say easily spreads out. People talk about it. It goes viral significantly. Everyone in the team is behind us. And together, we are able to make that impact. Are we able to make that impact? We need to think about it, and we need to create that impact in our organizations. We have completed 2 sections of this presentation, and 20 minutes have passed. I would like to stop and ask, is there anyone who wish to make any comment before I move forward? If anyone wants to, you can unmute yourself and then we will move. Okay, let us move forward. The purple cow in a crowded market, blending in is invisible. When we are in a crowded market and we are in that lot of things within that crowded market, it becomes really very difficult. If we are just trying to blend in, we may become invisible. And to see that we are not invisible, what we need to do, that is the crux of this next section. Let us move into it. You we always talk about stakeholders, right? Stakeholders for the organization. That's a key thing for every organization. And you can make a difference by putting your stakeholders into different buckets. You differentiate your stakeholders, wherein you look at a strategy where you are focusing on most strategic and influential relationships. And why you need to do that? You need to do this because all stakeholders do not carry equal weight. Your time may be limited, and you need to make an impact in a short time, and you may have certain challenges and you have to overcome those challenges. And imbibing the strategy of differentiating your stakeholders can work for you. Number one thing, what you can do, identify who drives impact. You can identify the board members, regulators, or investors who truly drive impact, so that when you identify those, you can focus on them. What can you do more? You can deepen the relationships that matter. Because when you will be able to deepen the relationships that matter, your influence will multiply. Number three, you don't need to dilute your leadership. And how do we dilute our leadership? We dilute our leadership by trying to satisfy everyone. And that may not be possible. To satisfy anyone is the most difficult thing. What you can do is you can focus where your voice matters most. Then the last point on the slide is design for your audience. You can design your strategies, your reports, your narratives for the people you most want to influence. By following these 4 points, which is which are to tell you and to help you differentiate your stakeholders, you can make impact. And if you look at these 4 points in the normal premise, these points look very valid, and these can be easily achievable in an organization and can really create an impact and can really help you when you may be running against time. Now, if we look at us as a normal being, what we normally try to do, we many times try to be dominant. But trying to being dominant is not the answer. The answer for us to be different and for us to be impactful, the answer is to be distinct, wherein you show your leadership by being distinct. And if you look on the left, on my left, we have 3 circles. And the focus there is a point niche. Niche is an important point for you to understand, to focus, where you identify your own financial niche, where your leadership creates unmatched impact. Everyone has hundreds of work to do. Some work we need to prioritize, some we need to keep it down, some may create more impact, some may take most of our time but may not create an impact. So you need to see that what is the underserved area, what is that niche in finance where you can make an impact. It can be ESG, it can be fintech, it can be digital transformation, anything sustainability. You see that what works best in your organization, you identify your niche, you create an impact on it. And for that, you don't need to copy industry giants. You define your space and you lead in that with your expertise. You can then you will be able to excel in the areas which others may overlook. That is the place from where your influence will come and your recognition will grow fastest. And if it's needed, you can challenge your own methods. to better serve the focused domain. Both CFOs win not by scale, but by sharp focus. Dominate where you can stand alone. The focus is important, the niche is important, and that may be the place where you are able to stand alone, to show your leadership, and also dominate by being distinct. Now, this point is very important, for any organization, for anything, wherein remarkability, we try to find remarkability in big things, but it can come in small decisions too. And those tiny leadership decisions can set the tone in the boardroom and also get you empathy in a crisis and can help you stay apart, can help you become that remarkable CFO in your organization. First, number one point on the screen, small acts, big impact. So it's not about dramatic moves. It's how you present the financials with purpose or stand firm on values in your organization. Number two, you need to create those moments that matter. What you can do, you build a habit of consistent, unexpected leadership moments where you are taking calculated risks, you have bold responses, or you display those acts of integrity. Number three, consistency is key. Small, intentional actions will build your influence, will build the trust, and will build your legacy in your organization. Now, let us look at the slide where you have are either looking at only maintaining certain things or you are choosing to lead on certain things. And always remember that what drives growth, being very limited on certain aspects may not drive growth, where you are taking cautious moves may not drive growth, where you are able to display your courage can be that place which can drive growth in your organization. And as a finance leader, you have to choose between either you are maintaining your status quo or you are leading by taking bold decisions. You are not just moving with the process, you are leading with purpose. You're leading with purpose in your organization. And without a purple mindset, your leadership risks may become predictable and may become replaceable. And if the things are predictable and replaceable, it can create really challenging things in the organization. So you see, you are your own judge to see that how you can lead, how you can stand out as what CFOs of today do, where they drive growth with bold decisions and not just process. And as you see on the screen, growth happens when CFOs challenge norms, champion innovation, and lead with purpose. Now we move on to our fourth section, where we have a couple of case studies where bold moves had given the real results, great results. Now this first case study, this comes out from our city where most of us live, where I'm speaking, Dubai, of a person, Yuvraj Narayan. Narayanan. Though I have never uh, met maybe Yuvraj Narayanan, but I know Yuvraj Narayanan for many years. Since 2012 or 13, I was introduced to him. And we Indian chartered accountants always used to feel proud of Yuvraj, what Yuvraj had achieved more than a decade ago. And today, he is the CEO of DP World. And if you see on the screen, the case study as it shows, what was the challenge? Turn a regional ports operator into an integrated global trade enabler. We all know, I don't need to speak about how DP World has created an impact in the whole world, and that was the challenge. And a disciplined M&A program expanding beyond ports into logistics and digital supply chains. Today, DP World is also ASB accredited service provider for e-invoicing, which is the talk of the town. And what result it made? DP World now moves over 10% of global trade, and he became from CFO, he became a group CEO in the year 2026. So, what is the lesson for us? Capital discipline plus bold, well chosen bets can turn a financial chief into the company's next leader? This is a question which comes in everyone's mind. And uh, being a finance person, we are normally biased that who will become the next CEO. We say that, okay, CFO will become next CEO. But if you talk, look into globally, a chief marketing officer can also become CEO. A chief human resource officer can also become a CEO. CIO can become a CEO. Any leader, a C-suite leader can become a CEO. But we finance professionals are biased that CFO becomes a CEO. And I wish that all the CFOs here become CEO and create that impact in the organization. Number two, this for funding bold bets at scale. Now, uh, this is a story of an apple, and this apple we are talking about is also very similar to the apple we eat, which is needed every day so that it can create an impact. It can keep you away from the doctors, right? This apple has also become that that apple, and we are talking about Apple company. And Apple, if we talk about Steve Jobs, if we talk about Apple, and if we look into the history of Apple over, I think, 5 decades, it has also gone through significant challenges and significant transformation. And 2007, when Apple iPhone was introduced, and Steve Jobs, what, yeah, Steve Jobs, he gave that speech on the Apple when the iPhone was launched, and he said that we are not talking about one device, we are talking about two, we are talking about three, and those three were not three different devices. The real magic, one device, one Apple iPhone. And the transformation of the company significantly happened. But did that stayed safe? And the answer to that is no. In 2017-18, Apple had significant challenges when people were talking that whether iPhone being the only product, whether it is really safe to invest in this organization, whether this organization can really survive. And that was the challenge. And how Luca, with the leadership of Apple, they were able to come out of this. They were able to demonstrate those other areas of revenue by significantly showing those areas of revenue where we talk about Apple stores or Apple Music or all those things on cloud. And that is when they were started talking about those things, they were able to keep that confidence up in the company, and they survived that significant trust deficit which was there in 2017-18. They their leader reinforced the company, reinforced their leadership. So the result, services become a major profit engine. That was just so. If we bucket all of those things in the services, it was proven and shown that that's a profit engine, that's also a growth engine. And when they know that where they are deploying capital, they are disciplined in that, they were able to influence the Apple's leadership. When we talk about these stores, we did not start talking about those stores in 2017-18 because those were thought much earlier, but they were also a profit model, right? And it was not just to make it comfortable or convenient for people to buy iPhones, but it was also a strategy to create profits for the organization. So the bold finance is not reckless. It funds the future while keeping the markets. Now we are coming to frameworks and tools section, from mindset to method. Now I would like all of you to focus on the screen significantly, where we this is just created by me to create certain difference and to make things easier for us to understand, where we say that at one side we have a traditional finance and on the other side we have a purple mindset leadership. And when we talk about the aspect of mindset, we can normally say that in traditional finance we may be two things are important here: risk averse. We may it may be difficult for us to take risk, and we may act as reactive, not active, reactive. That once certain things have happened, we give a reaction. But in today's challenging world, that's not the answer. The answer is you need to be bold, you need to be future focused, you need to be purpose driven. And that's how the difference is between traditional finance and purple cow CFO leadership. Second thing, what maybe in traditional finance, what methods we may normally adopt. We may be they may be very process heavy and rule following, but in the new world, we are look at strategic storytelling and innovation in execution. When it comes to engagement, in traditional finance, we may play the role of informing stakeholders. But what do we do in the new modern world? In that purple mindset, we inspire and align the stakeholders, not inform, but inspire and also align. Examples: in the traditional finance, quarterly reporting, cost control, but in the new world, ESG advocacy, digital transformation, bold restructuring. And what impact we will be able to make in those two different scenarios? We in traditional finance, we may maintain just our status quo. But what we aspire, we in the new world position CFO as a transformational leader. When we look into sustainability, normal sustainability in the organization, short-term compliance goals may be mostly the objectives of a traditional finance, but in the new world, long term stakeholder trust, and organizational growth. Yeah. So, how does this purple mindset framework stands? From habits that make a finance leader remarkable, use them as a lens for every decision and narrative. For every decision you take, how for everything you have to do, you use every aspect of your work in such a way that it makes you remarkable and it sets the narrative for great future growth. So, you need to be contagious, you need to be bold, you need to be distinct, you need to be consistent. So, we have looked at how you can be contagious, build influence, and advocate it across the boardroom. How you can be bold, you can lead with purpose, and you make those calls which others normal CFO as I as a normal CFO may avoid. You make those bold moves. And we had one slide where we had spoken I had spoken about niche, and you look find that niche and work on it. And where we are also spoken about the normal day-to-day work, your normal habits. So you turn the small unintentional acts of integrity into lasting trust and legacy. You stand out every single day in your organization and make that impact. Now, this is a self assessment on all of us. How purple is your mindset? How purple is our mindset? So, when we look at when you have to decide, do I wait for consensus or you make your opinions, you lead with your point of view? You need to answer that to yourself. When it comes to reporting, whether it is I inform the board or I inspire and align the board. When it is about focus, I try to please everyone. No, I invest where I matter most. When it comes about taking risks, I avoid being wrong. No, I make calculated, bold bets. When it is about use of technology, I watch AI from afar. No, I put AI and data to work now. When it is about building legacy, I maintain the status quo. No, I build that trust that outlasts me. I build that trust that outlasts me. Now, this slide is to help you build your 30 to 60 or 90 days action plan. So, what we can do? In the first 30 days, we can pick one own niche to own. You audit where you play safe and name the status quo, the normal status quo, you name it, and you are on to challenge it. By day 60, you reframe one board narrative around strategy and value, not just reporting. So, we move from our sphere of reporting to that strategic initiative, the narrative of a board, what board has decided. You reframe that and see how you can strategically work on it, how you can create value out of value in that particular thing. So, by day 90, make one bold, well modeled bet. It can be a technology, it can be ESG, or it can be a capital allocation move. You see that what you can do. And what you need to continuously doing ongoing every day. Build a habit of small, consistent acts of courage and integrity. Courage and integrity, key and important for us. So, what you need to remember the lesson from this slide, remarkability isn't one dramatic move. It's a compounding habit of bold, intentional decisions. You need to see how your habits are playing out in your organization, within your organization. Today is Saturday, so your move starts on this coming Monday. The purple mindset only matters if it changes what you do next. This closing section is to turn the ideas into concrete near term action, small, bold moves which you can start this Monday, not someday. Normally, we have a habit of waiting for that perfect time, perfect day, perfect hour, but no. We need to put our focus and make that time right for us and do what we should be doing. So, now this slide is for our discussion where we are not sitting personally in one room. There's no one besides you, but we are well here on the screen. So, the number one question for us is, where are you still playing safe as a finance leader? So, you need to think, introspect. Is there anything, any place where you are trying to keep safe, but that should not be? Number two, what you can do for you, name one niche where you could be genuinely distinct. One principle that stands out. It's not that it will fit in, because just fitting in can make us invisible and we will not be seen. We don't need to go into that direction. Third, what is one bold move you could make in the next 90 days? Because when you make are bold, you are seen. So, the conclusion, as we are also running out of time, the last slide, this is when it comes to the key aspects what we have spoken about. You need to push your limits. You need to embrace that purple mindset. Number one, you need to be, you need to you need to dare to be a trailblazer, because safe is limiting, and we don't need to settle for just being efficient. We need to strive for being that impactful leader in our organization. Number two, smarter influence. We had spoken about influence, where you invest in bold strategy, not just reports, and you create those financial narratives that will move the boards in your organization. Remarkability, you redesign how finance contributes to innovation, ESG, and transformation. You look at pushing those financial boundaries, because only bold finance leadership stands out and scales real impact. And remember, good isn't enough. Being good keeps you average. Remarkable CFOs rewrite the playbook. We don't have to stand as that average leader in an organization. We have to be that remarkable CFO, that remarkable leader, where we rewrite the playbook in the organization. We need to be bold, we need to be seen. You need to display that courage where, by leading efficiently, you are the greatest asset in your organization. So, remarkable is a choice. And this purple mindset isn't one day idea, it's way of leading, where We choose to stand out over fitting in. We make one bold move this week and let remarkable become your default. And from where this comes, purple mindset or purple cow, this comes from the books of Saint Gaudin, the Purple Cow, which I had read, I think, more than 1.5 decade ago, where Saint Gaudin starts with giving an example of a purple cow amongst the white cow, the brown cow, the black cow. And when you will see so many cows in the field, which cow will stand out? If you ask someone that purple, there is one purple cow, and that stands out. That helps you to come out from the normal dream. That helps you to get that space where you are bold, where you are seen. So this comes from there. So you need to be that purple cow. Be that purple cow in your organization. Be that leader, that CFO who is inspiring, aspiring, who is looking to become, who is challenging himself or herself every day to be that leader in an organization that creates a great impact. Thank you, everyone. This is all from my side, and I will stop sharing, and I will also put this presentation on the chat box. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the love. Just a moment. Let me put this presentation. Just a moment. Uh, yeah, just I will drop in here in the chat so that you can take it. Who's anyone who wishes to take? And also, if you miss to take from here, you can also message me on my WhatsApp. Yeah, it's there now. And if you have any questions, any comments to make, please feel free. Yes, Gopal, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, the meeting today had few participants, so visibility was easy. But had it been in
Mhm.
YouTube, it would have been difficult to know who has made a significant visibility as far as their comments or what they want to share is there. That is one such way to substantiate what you said about the purple cow. The
Yeah,
other one
correct.
is like, there have been two cases in the recent past which has been a
Hmm.
real success story of turnaround. One was definitely
Right,
Samsung over there. Like, they
right.
entered the Android technology, and this was actually like Kodak had actually bought the cameras over there for their
Hmm.
iPhones, and Nokia
Okay,
was ruling the roost somewhere in
right.
2089 90 like that. But these people,
Hmm.
they combined with Kalzi's technology of Sony, and they wanted to
Right,
sell it to Nokia, but Nokia just laughed it off. So that's why it was a dual band or something like that, and the maximum they came out was BlackBerry. But by then, Samsung had already made a significant impact because they cross-bordered for the technology, and it was selling hotcakes, and it was giving a run for the money for Apple, although the pricing was much cheaper. That was one such case.
right.
The other one was related to Steve Jobs, like, when he was called back into Apple, which was actually a
Hmm.
loss-making concern. He said, let us not innovative, but let us restrict our operations. So they moved on to iPad, iPod, and iPhones like that. But believe me,
Yeah.
the moment they hived off all these things, their sales just shot up by 400% in 1 month without anybody
Hmm.
getting trimmed of their jobs or something. And they even reintegrated and improved their existing operating software of Apple technology. That was one thing. The other one was a KFC story. Like, the person was a failure in whatever he did. And he got
Hmm.
fed up. He said, let me open a stall and start selling chicken, but let me make it with a separate coating as such. And that became an instant hit. And practically in 170 out of 195 countries, today KFC is selling like hotcakes. So that's why they took up a bold step to move from the comfort zone to the red hot cold zone,
Right.
and that's how they became toppers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gopal, for sharing these stories. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vijay, for your warm comments. And my purpose was this to make it thought provoking, because in normal circumstances, we generally think very straight. Uh, my purpose was to nudge, give that little nudge where we think differently. Though every organization will have its own challenges and everything, Gopalji, you give very significant examples. And yeah, these are stories of transformation, of long journeys, which takes time. And if we are on right track, we make the difference. Yeah, Vijay, Hitesh, yeah, anyone would like to say anything to unmute? Nothing, Vijay. Hitesh, you would like to add anything?
No, it's a very good session, Prabji. I think it is for
Thank you.
everybody who at whatever level they are, right? Because
Yeah,
gaining visibility and standing out of the crowd is very important. And I
right,
think
right,
one thing
right,
which we chartered accountants normally don't do is like we don't sell ourselves,
right,
right?
right.
So we need to
Yeah,
be selfish and like keep us visible at all the levels, well above the organization.
yes,
And as you were citing about the example for DP World, right? I think that's a very phenomenal
yeah.
move because as a chartered accountant, we do understand the business in a better way. Rather
Hmm.
than working as mere accountant, it's always good to work as a finance business partner,
Right, right.
right? Whereas like we are not always looked at like cost cutters or budget controllers. We are more of like adding value to the core business.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
many stories we have also seen in our organization where people have moved, from finance skill team and our CFO for Ford Australia. He is now the president of Ford Australia, handling manufacturing and sales for the country for Ford brand in Australia. That's a
right.
phenomenal move at this level. So there are many examples there.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. Thank you, Hitesh, for sharing. Anyone who would like to share? Thank you, Rajesh, for your beautiful comment. Yes, I would like to invite others also to please feel free to share. We have 5 minutes to go. I would like to make most out of these 5 minutes, and let us have some more things to share for everyone to look into. Anyone? Yes, I would like to. Rajesh, Zulfikar, Vipul, anyone? It- Jahangir. Yes, Gopal, you would like to? Yeah, Gopal, please come.
Yeah, say 5 years back, actually, we had nearly 7 years back, we had a
Yeah,
presentation by SAP India in our company. They had come to
right.
Muscat for just a demonstration part of it, like, and that
Hmm.
50% of the team were from Dubai office. And then
Okay.
they said that even with an iPad that you can easily sit at home and work out, everybody had a hearty laugh. How can that be? Because that requires something like, you need a broadband internet over there to be used out, and then access should be given, etc. and all.
Hmm.
But they said
Hmm.
that it's going to happen the next 5 to 7 years time. That they are working seamlessly on a technology using Huawei as a base, Samsung or Huawei or even Apple as such. But today it's a reality. If you just go to see, all you need is a VPN to just get logged in and all those things. That means they were leaders at that time. They already had the purple cow thinking in their
Hmm.
mindset at that time itself over there. And the other one is the artificial intelligence. Like just 2 weeks back, when we had a session which was hosted by 2, 3 weeks back in the mornings over there,
Hmm.
as what the speaker had said, it's not necessary that you should use only Gemini or Chat GPT or Grok or whatever it is. You can even use Claude, but what is important is the prompts. And what is
Hmm.
also equally important is that to keep a open view as far as these websites like Facebook, Instagram, and all, where you can actually download the materials by paying a nominal fee and just try it on a pilot project and then see the speed at which it's actually computing. But Claude is really amazing compared to other AIs which are available today, which I've been testing it for quite some time on a pilot like. So I'm actually thinking of actually putting it into the workspace, into my working environment for my office use, basically
Yeah,
to
yeah.
simplify Excels.
Thank you. Vijay, you have tried many things, dear Vijay. If you would like to share, we would like to hear different things. You were very active in the artificial intelligence session. If you can share anything that can make a difference. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
basically, what I am pursuing at this moment, although I'm a data enthusiast and I'm working a lot of in data analytics, But I
Yeah.
believe in artificial intelligence, the one of the major thing that we have to look into is
Hmm.
AI governance,
Okay.
basically. How our AI
Uh-huh.
governance is in place, how organization
Yeah.
is,
Uh, yeah. Yeah. Bijay, your
supporting that
voice.
AI
Uh-huh.
deploy. Not able to speak. I am somewhere outside, but I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
is I can I'm audible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now you are audible. Your voice was disturbing. Now, if you can
Correct, correct.
repeat your
So
point again.
I was saying that
Yeah.
I was saying that the AI in the AI is basically the governance is very important.
Hmm.
How we govern the AI basically because
Right.
I was studying some stuff basically on AI
Yeah.
governance itself,
Hmm.
and a lot of AI hallucinations happens. And there are a couple of theories that it called Blackstone theory. There's a particular theory which is used in Australia and in US, while especially utilizing the AI for court rulings.
Hmm.
I was reading some material and I was astonished to see we know AI in just now in 1.5 years, but AI is there maybe around 40 years ago.
Right.
There is
Right. Right.
one professor is there in Oxford University. He did a
Hmm.
PhD in
Hmm.
1989 somewhere in AI. So AI
Okay.
is new now for us actually because it has become so marketable.
Right.
But there are a lot of things that is still coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Certainly.
is
Thank you.
still good to use for experiment purpose, but whenever you want to use for a practical life, you need to see what policies are there in your organization because it's a risky
Right.
campaign. Data
Right.
sharing, basically.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing out Bijay. Thank you for participating. Thank you, Gopal, Hitesh, everyone. Thank you to everyone, those who joined, and deep gratitude for taking out your 1 hour with me today. And it really made me very happy that you took out time. Back to back, we missed 2 weeks, two sessions, and I chipped in with two different sessions, but we want to go back into those technical topics with speakers coming in. As I say, that CA Speakers Forum is for everyone here to speak. And next, I will do we will mostly be on Thursday. On the coming Thursday, we will connect because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, many have signed up for AI in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I have also signed up for AI course of ICAI. And on Thursday evening, we will come up on international taxation, certainly. Thursday evening, mostly 6 p.m. We will be up with our CA Speakers Forum session where we will have CA Amit speaking about it. And in August, July and August, there are so many travels. I am also traveling in August to India, but I will try to see that we have sessions on Saturday if it does not clash with a chapter event in Dubai. That is our priority to see it does not clash with it. And thank you. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you so much once again. And if you are able to apply certain things that we shared today, I'll be very happy. And I hope that it makes a big difference to you, your leadership, and to your career in your organizations. Wishing you everyone very best. And take good care of yourself. Wonderful weekend. Bye bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.